Okay, Panasonic continues to shake things up in the video world, especially the 4K video world. They just released this HC X1000 4K recorder, and this is on Google+. This is a B&H share that they did yesterday evening. And if I go back here, this is Panasonic's own website where they talk about it, and they've got the price $34.99, which seems to be aggressively priced for all the features it has. 60p 4K, which I really like. I like shooting at least 60p because then you can cut it down to half speed and still get a nice smooth video if you want to do a little bit of slow motion. This does not have 120 frames per second, which my FZ1000 Panasonic does have, albeit at a slight quality hit, but it's still nice to have that 120 frames per second 1080p video available. This camera does not have that available, so that's a hit as far as I'm concerned. I almost pre-ordered this, and I still might do so, but I really like the 120 frames per second slow motion. The other thing is this has a pretty small sensor in it, which a lot of video handy cams have, and it only has one. The Pro cameras similar to this will have 3 of the same size sensor. I don't know why they packed 20 megapixels onto that tiny sensor. I don't understand this. This is a video camera. All you need is around 8 megapixels to do 4K video. And also I don't understand why they don't cut those wafers the exact 16:9 ratio and make the sensor that exact size for video and put just the pixels on there that you need for 4K video. It seems like the pixels would be bigger, it would work better in low light, so on and so forth. I just don't understand this pixel race thing where they feel they have to cram 20 megapixels on this. So if somebody from Panasonic is listening, let me know what is going on here. But if you do a search, you'll find a bunch of write-ups. Here's the B&H photo write-up on the camera, and it looks like it has a nice mic array on the front. I'm wondering if it comes with a dead cat windsock to put over that, like my NEX VG10 came with. I really like that. That stays on my camera all the time because a lot of the events I cover, it is breezy, and so that's nice to be able to use those onboard mics when you need to. It's not always convenient to use a separate mic. I always keep a separate mic for interviews and so forth. And this does have 2 XLR inputs, which is nice. It is a little bit bulkier than the cameras I've been carrying lately. It's even a little bit bulkier than the NEX VG10, which I've been using for like 4 years. But of course that one does not have XLRs. That one just has a 3.5mm mic input, which I use all the time. And I've got videos on my channel for the custom Mogami cable that I use with my SM57 mic that works great in a run and gun situation with just a 3.5mm input. So anyway, check out the reviews. Check out, there's a nice video that B&H has up, and there's some other video samples out there that show some samples of the quality of the video. It does look pretty good. I will reserve judgment until there are more detailed reviews out, but it seems like an aggressively priced prosumer, if you will, ENG, electronic news gathering, appropriate camera. And for those who want a handycam format and don't want to go with the DSLR route, this looks like a good solution. But again, it's got a real small sensor. It's going to be hard to get that shallow depth of field, especially if you're not zoomed in a lot. If you're using it at the widest angle, by the way, the widest angle is around 30mm equivalent. I would like to see it at least 24, 27mm. I like 24mm on the wide side because you can get more people in if you're in a tight environment where you have to be kind of close to the subjects. So I would like to have seen that a little bit wider on the wide end, and maybe don't give us quite as much reach on the long end. It's about 600mm on the long end, but I'm nitpicking now. I mean, the Panasonic is really pushing things here, and I can't wait to see what happens at Photokino, see what Sony comes out with to kind of answer this camera. Of course, they've had a 4K camcorder out for a while, for like a year, but it only shoots 30 frames a second in the 4K mode. So I'm interested to see what Sony comes out with. If they come out with something that shoots 60 frames per second, they wouldn't break my heart if it was even more compact than this. And I don't really need the XLRs. Like I said, I can get by with the 3.5mm really in my run and gun situation with a handheld SM57 mic. That works great. So a little more compact, 4K, really good image stabilization is what I like. And put the 1-inch sensor in it, Sony. You've got your 4K camera now that has the 1-inch sensor. Give that one a little bit better image stabilization. Give it a little bit better focus. And give it 60 frames a second in 4K mode, and give it 120 frames per second in 1080p, and up the quality of the 1080p. And hey, why not release that 1-inch sensor as just an 8 megapixel sensor, so it can just have the biggest pixels possible and just be set up strictly for shooting 4K. Why not bite the bullet and do that? All right, hey, so share your thoughts in the comments on what's happening with these new 4K cameras and what you would like to see come out. Thanks for watching.